Great, thank you. My name is Peter Mullen. I'm a West Coast Business Development Representative for Bizzabo. I've yet to hear somebody for the first time mention the company name or say the company name correctly. It's a startup based out of Tel Aviv. Recently launched in the US about 4 months or so ago. Bizzabo is a multi-event networking app. A number of you might be familiar with the genre already. But when you go to a large conference, small, medium, you never know who you want to meet. You're kind of left to the vagaries of serendipity to meet who you want to meet. So Bizzabo helps solve a number of those problems. Some events will create a dedicated app for many, many thousands of dollars. Bizzabo has a freemium model and can work across different events. You only have to download one app. There are two major components to it. One is the event organizer dashboard where the events can be set up. I'm going to demonstrate the mobile component here. When you download the app, you can do a quick search, either discovering events close by, and you see a number of events here. Some you might be familiar with. Here's SVNewTech. I'm not going to show that one because it wasn't really an official app. I'll show the Marketo Summit, which is going to be happening next week. They're taking full advantage. You initially authenticate through LinkedIn, and this is a professional networking app. It's not a toy, it's not highlight, it's not stocky or anything like that. You join the community, you download the app, and you do what's called join the community. So I'm going to, on Joe's behalf, I'm going to allow him to join the Marketo community, saying he's going. You will be automatically prompted to share it with your social networks, which you have already authenticated. I'm going to go ahead and say no thanks, but you have the ability to toggle on and off, your various social networks. So I will say no thanks to that for Joe. And then what you do is you can see who else has joined the community. I'll go ahead and close that. You do have the ability to invite some of your other friends. But what this does is you can see who else has joined the community. And then since it's fed by LinkedIn, it will give you the ability to view their LinkedIn profile and to send a connection request if you're so inclined. You can send a private message. We've created a default message, but you can obviously delete that and override. You get the idea. Another thing you can do is you can flag them as a lead for to take care of something perhaps later on. Okay. Another thing is they have the ability to put the agenda out there, and so in this case, the Marketo Summit has a full 3-day agenda with speaker bios, etc. And you can do things like add one of those breakouts to your calendar for a notification, just so you won't miss it. Let's see how do we go. Oops, I'm not exactly steeped. We'll go ahead and just mark that one as a favorite, and then we will see. Can't quite figure out how to go back. I'm an Android guy, and I'm using Joe's phone, so please bear with me on that.
Show tabs.
What's that?
Show tabs.
Oh, show tabs. There you go. Thank you. There we go. Okay, another thing that's really cool here is the ability for sponsors to put information out there. So these are all the sponsors that are on the Marketo Summit, and let's just pick one. Hey, Microsoft, by chance. So you have the ability to build communities through Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, but also the ability to push promotions out during an event as well. So, all in all, a pretty cool feature set. Here's another cool feature set, and it's the Messages tab. And Joe, you don't have much of a history here, but you have the ability to archive all the messages that you sent back and forth from all your events that you've particularly, joined in past times. So again, just back to the home screen again. This is the featured setup here, so that which companies can pay to have placement up there. Here's SF Beta. Joe, you haven't joined that one either. But since this is opt-in, you also have the ability to leave the community if you don't want to keep your maintain, which leaves me to the end of the 5 minutes. That's quite. Guarantee that I won't run over when you use the event promoters device. So any questions? Yes, go ahead.
How do you mine all the events that are going on?
The question was, how do you mine all the events? A couple of things. One is we have the ability to take the Eventbrite feed and actually do that. But anybody in the community can actually make Bizzabo an app just by going to the Bizzabo website. There's a big green button that says Start Here, and anybody can put any event up there, and you just provide the link, provide the event information, you can upload a logo, and then save it, and then make it live. You will be asked to check one of the boxes at the bottom, which is I'm either the event organizer or I'm not the event organizer. So then that will place it out there. So any meetup, any official Eventbrite or any other event that's fed by another ticketing system, whether it's TicketLeap or Amiando in Europe or anything like that, can be added by anybody. It's best to be added by the event promoter, because then they have a lot of other promotional tools that they can use to what they call socialize the event. Yes?
How do you deal with the event organizer wanting to put it on there after someone else has already put it on there?
The question is how does the event organizer basically assume ownership of an event that somebody else has put out there? All they have to do is send a note to support@bizzabo.com. Just designate themselves as the event organizer. We'll just an email back and forth, and then we'll go ahead and designate you as the owner of that particular event. You can make whatever changes are necessary. To actually set up an event literally only takes a couple of minutes. The most time-consuming thing is to put the agenda up there, depending on how complex it is.
I have a question.
Yes.
So this is really cool. So how do I prevent somebody from actually just downloading the app and then joining a whole bunch of events that they're not actually at, and then spamming people or people that are actually at the conference?
Well, there are a couple of things. One is the event organizer has the ability to designate his event as private. Okay, and then that way the event will be passworded. So if you want to keep your community closed, then you have the ability to do that. Again, for the events that are more open and not passworded or not private, then yeah, we are subject to that problem. All you have to do is send an email to us, and we can block whatever user might be particularly rogue or spammy or whatever, because yeah, they certainly do have the ability to send messages and send LinkedIn requests to everybody. And I'm sure we, as event promoters, you're probably used to some of those.
We do get that a lot on there.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. Any more questions? Great, thanks. Hopefully you'll all download and look for the events that you like. And
Feedback. Get rid of the CAPTCHA. I can't get in.
Oh,
I don't know if anybody else is saying anything.
Anybody who's a CAPTCHA expert, Drew, Mr. Kuzu, he can't get past. That's actually a LinkedIn authentication thing. I don't know why you're suffering that. I do as well. Yeah, right now it's just Android and iPhone for now. There will be a web version. No plans currently to go to Microsoft or BlackBerry, but I do know you're evangelists, you're developer evangelists, and I know you guys have a lot of money to give, so we're certainly willing to talk.
All right. On that note, thank you, Peter.
Thank you.